Hi everybody, I'm Justin from Mainman Bassing. In this video, I'm going to review the Mr. Heater Portable Buddy. If you're new to the channel, I do product reviews, fishing adventures, and how-to videos that all revolve around bass fishing in the Northeast, even in the winter. I'd love to have you as a sub, so hit that subscribe button. Also, if you'd like to own this right now, there'll be an Amazon link in the description box. You can click it and take it from there. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you in action, give you my first impression thoughts of it, and then I'll switch frames later and I'll be back in my apartment and I'll go over some of the safety features and the specs that it has. So my first time using it, pretty impressed. It's light, even with the propane. It's like, I don't know, I'd say right around 3 pounds, 3 pounds, probably somewhere around there. Doesn't take up much space. I'm in a Quickfish 3 ice hut. So it's just, you can put it in the corner. Doesn't take up much space in your sled. So it's nice. It has the ability to, you can remove the gate, right? And there's all these little hacks you can do to make food. One I saw on the internet, which is, I thought pretty interesting, was this guy basically reversed the gate, and then you can cook hot dogs on there. Sounds pretty good. I really wish I had a hot dog right now. And then you can get really complicated with it and come up with all sorts of ways to fry up food on here. So that's just, it's a nice thing to know. As far as operating goes, there's a off, pilot, low, and high switch, and all you're going to do is press down on your pilot. Sometimes you have to hold it to let it catch. Alright, just caught. Switch it to low. Takes a second or two to catch. There, just caught right there. So you kind of have to watch it, okay? It's not, 100%, complete safety. You do have to watch the flame. And then you switch it over to high. It'll kick open to high, and you'll see the gate turn orange. And that's that. Very simple to use. Does crank out some heat. I'm in my Quickfish 3, which is it's basically a one-man tent. I've had to open the door a couple times. I mean, it's not that warm out. I mean, it's not that cold. It's like 35 degrees. So, but it does crank out heat. One con that I noticed off the bat was that pilot is exposed to the elements. So if it gets wet, the pilot will have trouble lighting. You might have to dry it off, or just when you're transporting it, make sure that it stays dry. The propane tank, I don't know how long that would last running on high. I mean, you can kind of see like the frost on it. So I think I'm somewhere right here for only maybe an hour of running it. So I'll check the box when I get home to see if there are any time information on the time that it provides heat for. But if it's real cold out and you're planning to be out for a while, I'd bring an extra tank. That's pretty much all I have to say as far as like first impression and in action. I'm going to switch frames. I'll be in my apartment and I'll go over some of the specs. I'm back in my apartment. I'm warm, dry. It's pretty nice. One thing I didn't show you that I wanted to while I was out on the ice was how easy it is to install the propane. I mean, literally, that's all you do. You just unscrew it. It's not hard at all. It's very easy. So I wanted to mention that. Very user-friendly. I did find how long the 1 pound propane will last. I have it on the box here. It is at high. It'll run for 2.4 hours. And on low, it'll run for 5.4 hours. So you don't get that much time out of this unit. I will say though that it did crank out heat really quickly. in about 10 to 15 minutes, my tent was really, really warm. My tent it's a Quick Fish 3, which it's basically a one-man tent. And it's not insulated. And it was still just warm, even after I turned it off. I had to open up the door to cool the tent down. So it's just something to keep in mind. And you don't need to run it at high. At low, you get 5.4 hours out of it. So another thing to consider is how much time are you going to spend in your hut. If you're someone who spends the whole day in there, you're gonna need to bring an extra propane tank, or you'll have to get a bigger one. They make bigger models. My style of fishing, I go, I'm focusing on ponds this year because I really want to catch bass. And even when I'm out on the lake, I usually find a place to pitch my tent so I don't have to carry around my tent. I'll pitch it, put everything in there, and then I'll go drill holes for 3-4 hours. When I'm tired and cold, I'll come in my tent, and then I'm only in my tent for an hour. So it really depends on your fishing style and what you plan on doing with it. And also today was like 35 degrees, so I don't know. On like negative degrees, you have to bring an extra propane tank or get a bigger unit. But again, it did crank out heat, even in an uninsulated tent, hut, and the heat stayed for a while. It was really warm. It was really nice. There's some safety features on it too. There's an oxygen detection auto shut off, and there's a tip over auto shut off, which is really cool. If you got little kids running around or whatever, or animals, they knock it over. Us fine-footed anglers. Some nice features, and that really is about it. I mean, there's not a whole lot to this. I think my first impression of it was I was really happy I had it, actually. And I'm gonna start bringing hot dogs. I'll probably bring tin foil so that hot dog grease doesn't get all over the gate. But so that's the review. Hope it gave you good perspective. Yeah, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I do product reviews like this a lot. I do fishing adventures a lot, so check those out. And if you want to own this right now, there'll be Amazon links in the description box below. You can click those links and you can take it from there. Thanks. I hope this helped. I hope it gave you good perspective, and I hope you catch real big bass soon.